This video is for revenue leaders. If you are working with your RevOps team to engage in a collaborative planning process, you might want to propose changes to whatever the ops team has carved. So we'll go over moving accounts, setting named accounts and named exceptions, reviewing any changes that you make, and also using the notes functionality. So let's go over here to Fullcast. And what I'm looking at right now, I am seeing that there are no changes that have been proposed. So let's go down here and first talk about how to move accounts. So to move accounts, there are a couple of ways to do that. Let's say, for example, I'm in the central region. I want to go over here to Central 1, and the flight support group, I want to put that in Central 2. So I'm going to click on it, and I can go here to move, and I can drill down to Central 2, and I can say that's where I want to put it, and I can hit confirm. Here I am prompted what I want to do with the child accounts. So this is going to depend on the rules that you're following in your organization. And another thing it's asking you here is, do I want to mark these records as a specific name type? Typically, if you're making these manual changes, you'll want to use one of these to indicate that the account has been placed in a territory manually rather than allocated there using our rules engine. So I'm going to click that. And there's two options here. They actually function the same. The definition is going to be up to what your organization uses. Typically, what we see is that a named account is a more strategic motion. So if I'm setting a batch of accounts that are target accounts, for example, and I want to make sure that they stay with a rep, I might designate those as named accounts. Named exceptions might be something that comes up mid-year, and I don't necessarily want that account to stay with someone long-term, but I'm going to put it in their account in their territory as an exception. The important thing here is that you want to propose changes versus committing them. You may not have this option depending on your permission. So we'll propose the change here. So once that move is processed, you'll notice this yellow dot appears to indicate that proposed change. I'm going to go here and I'm going to type in flight as a filter to find that account that I just moved. So you can see here in Central 1, I've removed the account, and in Central 2, I have added the account. So this is how you can review and just make sure that you've made the changes that you think that you have. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear this filter. There is also another way that you can move accounts. So you could select multiple, which you can do in the other method as well. And then you can actually use this as a drag and drop. So you would grab these and put them where you want them to go. And you're going to be prompted for this again. And I might say these are exceptions this time. What you'll notice here is that named accounts get a green pin, and then the named exceptions are going to get a red pin. So to find those accounts that are moving around, I'm just using this proposed change column here to kind of sort by anything with a proposed change, and you'll see the added and removed, and you'll see this named account pin here. And when I go down to Central 3 and I'm doing the same proposed change here, you can see my red pin that I created for named accounts. If for whatever reason you wanted to remove that named thing, which is something you'll have specific rules around in your organization for when you would do that, you can just click on them and you can do this action button and you can say, I want to clear the name types. And it'll ask you if you really want to do that. The last thing we're going to talk about is using notes. So let's say I want to provide some sort of context, for example, for why I've moved these around. You can use the notes here and I can write a note. I can also propose a data change. So like, let's say, for example, you think the employee count data is wrong. I could put in here whatever I think the value should be, and then I could put some notes there. I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to say test. And now you can see this little bubble here popped up for comments. So to view the comments, you just need to click on this little bubble and the comments are going to pop up here. And you can see who did the comment and when. You can also view notes in the table here. If you go to your column chooser, there's actually a notes field. I can drag that over. This isn't as pretty as the view over here, but that is a log of the changes, and you can see the test here that I typed. So hope this video helps you understand how you can go about making changes to propose to your team in your territories.